All right, welcome back, everybody. We have another review of a very exciting set. It's G.I. Joe Minimates Wave 1. We have, Snake Eyes and Scarlet and Roadblock and Duke all in here. Those of you who have seen my other reviews, you've seen the first G.I. Joe Free Comic Book Day, I think is what it's titled, 4-pack. And you may also know that this is my favorite franchise. It's kind of going right now with Minimates, even though it's brand new. It's the one I'm most excited about. It's one with the most potential in my eyes. Of course, I'm biased because I grew up on the cartoon and absolutely love it. These characters they're kind of like the Masters of the Universe or the X-Men or whoever, where each character is very colorful, very different. They all have their different backgrounds. They all have their different personalities. I can't even explain how excited I am about the potential behind G.I. Joe Minimates. But yeah, we got this 4-pack Wave 1. It comes in this big box, great display box. Again, they are knocking it out of the park. If you're a mint and box collector, MIB collector, and you like to keep stuff on shelves, this is definitely one that looks neat. It's kind of like a locker from, for military people or whatever these guys come in. But yeah, let's take them out of this slide. Actually, let's look at the back real quick. Yeah, so looking a little bit more like that locker or whatever on the back. With all their names and their ranks or positions, whatever they are in G.I. Joe. Very cool. But yeah, now let's open them up. Okay, so instead of just doing all 4, we're just going to do 2 at a time. But this packaging is, again, amazing. Not only is the outside of the packaging, the slide, I thought it was going to be weaker than it is. They do a good job filling it in with more plastic to kind of tighten up the interior of the box, so things aren't sliding around and the box doesn't get misshaped from abuse or whatever, moving it around. But yeah, these carded figures, absolutely amazing. I'm extremely excited to have it, to have these, or just to see them. Not a big fan on the cost. You all remember when a Minimate 2-pack cost you $8 for two of them. Now it's basically breaks down to $10 for $10 a figure. So we went from $4.50 a figure to $10 a figure in a very short period of time. That was not that long ago that we were paying $8.99 or whatever it was for a 2-pack at Walgreens, or the stuff that came out of Luke's Toy Store, getting a wave of 8 for what, $36, $32, I forget how much it was. And now getting, for $40, getting 4 characters. That's it. So, and I can guarantee you, the money obviously is going to packaging because, it does look amazing. Paying 20% more for packaging is one thing, paying double for packaging, and I know plastic's gone, probably the price of plastic, everything else with the last 3 years, everything's gone up, but we're talking double in price. It's kind of ridiculous. But and if there is any characters to do some kind of fancy packaging with, I guess this one's it. I do wonder, would a retailer take these all out and sell them individually if they still had 4-packs laying around, like just walking up and seeing these on the shelf individually? I think would be pretty amazing to see that. Or even at Target or Walmart for kids, to come in and see one of these for $8.99 or $10, whatever. I think it'd be pretty cool. I think that's really catch the eye, especially with older collectors. But yeah, it looks amazing. Actually, let's turn both of them around real quick. So yeah, there you go. Classic cards, whatever, with the bio and the real names and all that other stuff on it. They really knocked it out of the park with these figures. So, but as far as the figures individually go, Snake Eyes and Scarlet, these two I will not be opening up. just for two reasons. One, the packaging looks amazing. I actually have a wall of my favorite 2-packs that I've kept. I actually bought extras of just so I could have a 2-pack on the wall. Actually, I'll show you guys real quick. There's this. Yeah, no lights in here at all right now. This 2-pack right here, I just have never opened. I've never done this version of X Factor. Warpath is pretty individual for that era of X-Men. This is when he was in the X-Men with God, what was his name? The Vulcan and the Vulcan, the Third Summer's brother, when they were going after the Shi'ar, all that stuff. So he doesn't have any real sentimental. And then Angel, the biggest reason is this is the most expensive 2-pack I've ever bought. I bought it for $50. This pack was so rare and very few were made. He was impossible to get a hold of. He just was such a disappointing and basically killed the X-Men 4-packs. Because they came out with X-Men First Class 4-pack, and nobody bought it. And they're just like, well, we wanted to see if the 4-pack was going to do any good before we came out with whatever the 5th character was. And nobody bought it. And why did nobody buy it? Nobody bought it because we all went out and bought the X Factor 4-pack. And Angel in this suit was impossible to find. And they should have made him again. They should have done something again with him. Because a lot of people ended up with that X Factor 4-pack, and he just never showed up for them. And if you got him, you paid an arm and a leg for him. He's still probably really spendy now. Way sidetracked. This is actually a Luke's Toy Store exclusive, the Multiple Man. This is they've done this a few times, but none of it has been as big of a deal except for this Multiple Man, the Shatari they did it with, and I did buy, I've got like 6 or 8 of them. I wish I had way more, but they did this exactly right, and I'm glad they gave it to Luke. It was kind of neat that it was one of his exclusives for this 4-pack or 2-pack. The next one is my favorite, one of my favorite Wolverines, the Weapon X Wolverine. Waited a long time for that. That's why they're up there. Lady Deathstrike, inconsequential but amazing figure. And then this actually is my favorite 2-pack to ever come out with Minimates. It's the Iron Man Thanos Endgame, just because I love that Iron Man armor better than any other ones in the MCU, and that Thanos is one of my favorite Minimates of all time. And then I got a couple other displayed up here that were just my favorite Wolverines. But anyways, very big sidetrack for this review. The other reason, so I said the first reason was the packaging is amazing. The second reason why these will not be opened is because we already got all these 2 figures, and not very different figures of these 2 characters. Basically almost the same figure entirely. Snake Eyes, we basically got this other one. They did change the skin tone on the torso with his muscles and everything. And then they just gave us this all black Snake Eyes. Honestly, he does look great. He does look amazing. Who knows? Maybe someday I'll just break down and open him up. But I would say the chances of that are very slim. He's just too close to this other Snake Eyes. I already have a hard enough time photographing him because he's so dark. He just doesn't pop on camera in the first place. And then to get a black visor and everything else on top of that, all of his accessories, shoulder pads and the grenades, whatever, he's not going to photograph good anyways. So, especially the fact that he's in this, in the package, he's definitely going to hang on my wall of greats. Definitely earned a spot up there, but I just can't ever imagine being in a situation where I think I would rather photograph this Snake Eyes than the other one. Still a cool Snake Eyes, but the other one's better. It's too close. And then Scarlet, I actually like the new one better. I like that darker tone. If you guys know what Scarlet looked like way back in the day, she had a kind of an army green arms and legs, and this is much darker than the blue one. I can't remember if that blue one is more to the comics or something. I think it was more to the comics. I think most of these are based off the comics. Judging by Ninja Force, I would say, they are. But still, I really like the version in the package better. But still, I got this one. It's so close. I don't care. since it's that close. She's more worth it to me to have hang on the wall and look at that amazing packaging. And just to get off on that my big gripe again, you guys have heard me complain about this in other G.I. Joe videos, but we got this 4-pack with Duke and Roadblock on Scarlet and Snake Eyes. The next 4-pack that should be coming really soon, like maybe in the next month, we have Cobra Commander, Storm Shadow, Destro, and Baroness. In the original 4-pack, the free Comic Book Day 4-pack that I've already reviewed, it is Snake Eyes, Scarlet, Cobra Commander, and Storm Shadow. So out of 12 figures, out of 3 4-packs, you only get 8 figures. Eight new figures. What is it? 8? Yeah, 8. That other first free Comic Book Day 4-pack is completely obsolete. There is no reason to pick that up unless you're a completionist. These two are close enough. Cobra Commanders is really close, and Storm Shadows is. When those show up, we'll talk about it then. How close they are. But there is no reason to either pick that up or, buy it unless you're a completionist or, you really like those variants. It's kind of ridiculous. I'm very disappointed in it that we would get 3 4-packs and only 2 of them have really the same characters in them. But enough of that. Just be grateful that we got them. I'm really excited to see what's coming. They're saying maybe January or February we might find out. Knowing them, will just pop up out of nowhere. And we'll find out later. But I'm really excited to figure out who the next ones are, unless it's a 4-pack with Duke and Roadblock and Baroness and Destro. If that's their next 4-pack, I'm going to lose it. But yeah, let's get the other 2 up here real quick. All right, guys, here it is. This is what it's all about. We have Duke and Roadblock. We've been waiting for these guys for, I don't know, like a year, maybe only 9 months, 6 months. I don't know how long it's been, but it's felt like a whole other lifetime. So very excited to finally get these. I've taken plenty of pictures with the other ones, but it's always difficult when I have 4 figures to pick from. I mean, could you imagine like an X-Men, pick some X-Men pictures where all I have is 2 X-Men, and maybe a Magneto and a Juggernaut, and that's it. I could get some cool pictures out of it, but variety's a spice of life. It keeps everything fresh, and I got 2 more characters to include in on this. Awesome. So yeah, again, this is what the front looks like. And of course we have the file cards on the back. Awesome. I'm actually going to keep these file cards. I am going to crack them open, but I think I'm going to keep the file cards just because they're always fun to have. I actually still have all mine from the 80s and 90s somewhere in my closet. But yeah, let's take them out and get a closer look at them. Okay, so yeah, here they are out of the package. Again, it's so amazing finally having them. It's kind of funny with Roadblock. I've used his figure, his retro figure that came out a few years ago in a lot of pictures, and he just never looks right. Like they did something wrong. Like his traps are too big, and his head isn't the right shape. It's not round enough, and his body type just doesn't look right. His face just doesn't look right. But no, ironically, the block figure, Roadblock, actually looks better to me than the retro figure even. And then Duke also looks amazing. The one thing I am noticing is you can't articulate a lot with them. Both Roadblock and Duke have those hip pieces, and those hip pieces with the sashes or with Roadblock the straps. But I will say I would rather have them than not have them, even though you can't really twist the waist. Those are very nice pieces. I think Roadblocks might be new. Duke's might even be new. It certainly looks new, but we've had a few of them, and it's kind of hard to remember if I've seen this one before. The belt buckle's the thing that makes me think it's new. I don't recognize it at all. But otherwise, yeah, look at the pants on both of them, the laced up boots. They really look great. I mean, they really look like their cartoon counterparts. Actually, Duke too. The retro figure for G.I. Joe is absolutely horrible for Duke. He's just ugly. He doesn't look like him. His costume's not right. It's just absolutely hideous. The collar's green, and he doesn't have that little badge on the left-hand side. If you look at his shirt, this is another little detail they threw in. Those little orange strips in that his wings or whatever that is on the left-hand side of his chest. That's just fantastic. Yeah, they're just some very nice looking mates. The gun that Roadblock has, I believe, is new. I'm not sure about Duke's. I think we've had that one with Duke before. Wouldn't surprise me. It's pretty common. But Roadblocks, whatever that's called, I'm not a gun. I don't know guns. Looks very nice. It's got a little bit of a curve to it because of the way he's holding it. I can just adjust his hands and get that out of there. But one of the things I'm looking forward to most is getting some pretty sweet pictures of him holding that gun and having it firing. We'll get out the blast effects and the laser pointer for it. And Duke, man, just looks like a real leader. So they look amazing. They look great. Let's move on to the part of the video where I start taking some pictures of these guys and get them out there and see what they can do. Okay, so I wanted to do a picture of just the two of them to start out with. I thought it'd be pretty fun or whatever, just to keep these two alone. But yeah, it's just some artillery getting ready for whatever this thing's called here. Just loading it up. It's not aimed at them. They're just going to have to aim it, I guess. But they're kind of camouflaged back in this area, and they got two HISS tanks on their way. And Duke's kind of instructing him to blow them up. And these are the classic, actually these are the retro HISS tanks. Unfortunately, in order for them to work, you kind of got to get them away from the characters, away from the figures. G.I. Joe vehicles do not scale with Minimates, unfortunately. A lot of their accessories are very interchangeable, which has always been kind of nice. But as far as like vehicles, if you put them in one of the driver's seat, it would look ridiculous. And probably out of all the vehicles, this one will work the best. The HISS tank will work the best as far as, being able to throw it in the background and the scaling not be too far off. You can't even really see the figures. There are people in the gunners in the cockpit, but you can't tell that there's any figures in there. So, but yeah, just kind of filling in, doing the old classic tree. If I left the sky wide open, it just wouldn't look right. It would be too plain or whatever. So just kind of layering the trees, one up front, one in back. There's even another one hidden back there. And then I have these battle damage, rocks or whatever, just to kind of help hide them, give them another barrier from the HISS tanks that are on the way. So, cool picture. Really like how it turned out. Let's go on to the next one. All right, so for our first solo shot, we have, Roadblock behind some more of those barriers, those concrete barriers that have the blast effects on them. We have a blast effect at the, tip of the gun. And then, of course, I'll use my laser pointer to light that up and give it a good glow. Yeah, it just really turned out to be a good, Roadblock with artillery, shot. So nothing too crazy about this. These, I guess the rock, the blast, broken up concrete that actually does come from, what do you call it, those tabletop role-playing games, and when you can get those accessories. I believe that's what that is. I think about it at Luke's Toy Store, actually. But the thing in the back is HeroScape, the Marvel set. Is always made for good background pieces. I've had those things forever. But yeah, just really turned out to be a good, blown out some, urban area or something like that. Maybe Eastern Bloc country or something close to that. So really like it. Really like how it turned out. Let's get Duke on his own. All right, so here's our solo Duke shot. Turned out pretty good. Actually, I'm a little ashamed to say that I've had this parachute for years and I just never used it at all. I was cleaning out the room, just getting as organized as possible. Probably one of the biggest cleanups I've done since I've been in here, and found it kind of hidden. I bought it, always meant to use it, always knew it was there, but completely forgot about this Mega Bloks parachute. But because of the Joes and because I cleaned it out and found it, remembered about it, this is the perfect, figure to use it for. So you got Duke, skydiving or whatever, and just basically coming in hot, into the war zone with his gun out. And yeah, not much else to say. Actually, I'm being kind of lazy with the setup. I really like the setup, first of all, but I'm kind of being lazy, but that's all right. We're getting some cool pics out of these guys, and at least all their war shots kind of feel like they're in the same group. Let's do one more shot and call it a night. All right, so of course our last shot we got to get one, shot with the 4 of them in it. The only Joes we got so far. It's pretty much turning into an actual team. It should be pretty fun to play with these guys now that they got more people around. But yeah, just basically doing a landing at a military base. We have this Roadblock helicopter that scales really well with Minimates. It's actually from the museum heist set. This landing pad is actually a click and play military deal. They're one of the best military click and play things I've bought. It's really cool. It's just a helipad with some steps and stuff. I love it. And then just filling out the background with some fence and buildings and making it look like an actual base as much as I can back there. The Playmobil rocket set, which you won't notice a lot of that, but we need something to fill in the background. It can't just be a big open plain, background as if they're landing on a helipad in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, let's see. Snake Eyes up on a wood dowel, with some wax stuck to his back as if he's just jumping out of the helicopter at this point in time. Yeah, just a nice fun shot. So excited to finally have these 4 together. I can't wait for the Cobra set. Yeah, I guess that'll do it for this video, guys. Hit the like and subscribe button. Check out the description of the video for my Instagram and Facebook page, and we'll see you guys at the next video. Bye now.